Okay, so welcome to the fourth and final recording on logistics and transport. And I'm Fanuel, and just be a short discussion here to be looking at other issues that we want to consider in logistics and transport management. So we'll look at I'll share my screen and you can pick it up from there. So yes. So let's look at those issues talking about in logistics and transport. In this session, we'll be looking at lead time management and expediting, how they work hand in hand, how can lead time management help us to expedite work, customer service and order processing, logistic information system, global logistics outsourcing and logistics function, and finally look at some career opportunities in logistics and transport. Let's look at lead time and expediting. I'm sure we all are aware about lead time and what it means. Basically, lead time, we're looking at how long it takes from the time you place an order to the time it's delivered to you. So it includes the manufacturing time, transportation time, and all that. So we are looking at time from from when you order something, when you receive it. Okay, the time lapse, it becomes the lead time. Now, expediting, we are looking at how to accelerate the process, basically. So our aim in this lecture, or this topic, is to see how can we reduce the lead time and make it more efficient. That's what we are looking at. And that helps us also move towards what we call just-in-time or lean systems. So why is expediting important? Time is money. So we need to really understand that we need to work on our lead time. And if you are not able to work on our lead time, then transportation efficiency will suffer. But we don't want our transportation efficiency to suffer. So that's how come lead time management is very, very important. Time is money. So if you're unable to expedite our lead time, then we are going to spend more time moving things. Customers may be lost. Things may go bad in transit. Cost of transport may be too much. So expediting could be important. But of course, sometimes expediting may also cost you money. So you need to balance it and see which one works best for you at a particular point in time. So 8 ways we can reduce supply chain lead times one is to use domestic or local suppliers whenever it's possible, instead of using foreign ones. Yeah, and you can increase your order frequency. So when you order more frequently, you get to establish rapport with your suppliers. And what that means is that you don't ordering bulky amount of goods, so they don't have to spend 10 years or 5 months to produce. Maybe you should order something that is reasonable, the minimum order quantities, then it comes maybe faster than when you're ordering quite a lot at the same time. Provide sales demand forecasts to suppliers so that they know when you need what kind of products, and they can help you get them on time. You have to also consider standard components whenever possible. Instead of getting customized components, you can also look for standard components whenever possible. So when customized components are not needed, for example, you want to sell a certain kind of product, water or whatever, if your suppliers, you can just tell them you need any kind of bottled water that is accepted to be brought to you, then okay, maybe you want a particular one, you want a particular brand, then that one, they will say, okay, wait until we produce that one, or you take delivery of those one, then we can ship to you. So this is some of the options. Then you can also create an incentive for faster delivery. So if you want to reduce your lead time, whenever you place order, you can tell them, okay, if you're able to deliver within 2 weeks or within 3 days, you provide some premium to the supplier. This things also encourage them. Then you have to communicate effectively with suppliers or customers, making sure that they know exactly what you want. Follow up when you place orders. Don't just place orders and leave them to do their own thing. And then you should also automate order entry and order processing. So you don't need to also always do everything manually, post by air or whatever, mail, or maybe calling and telling people, or even sometimes not by email. But when you automate it, they will only work on a dashboard, and it's real time. It makes things faster. Eliminate unreliable suppliers from the supply chain. That's one of the things you want to do when suppliers begin to behave in a way that is not able to work for you properly. we can always work with that. Okay. Those who don't produce, those who don't deliver on time, you eliminate them and get more efficient suppliers onto the network. Then the next point we want to look at is the customer service and order processing. You see, so the customer service is very important. Anytime you are processing orders, you don't just be interested in your business or your financial gains. Always look at customer service as a way of fixing problems for your business partners. And another point we want to look at is logistics information systems. The logistic information system are information systems that are helping us to digitize our logistics system and make them more efficient. The sales information system, for example, which is SIS, talks more about how to automate the sales system between you and your customers. So you understand how your purchasing is between you and your suppliers, how to automate the system. Inventory controlling, INCO, that is how to manage inventory or materials in store. Shop floor information system help you to automate things on the shop floor, like go to the market, and managers are aware when certain products are getting out of the shelves, when the shelves are getting empty for particular products, they can cause for replenishment on the stock. Then we have plant maintenance. It helps us to know when to maintain our plants. It gives us information, quality management information system, something that is a system that helps us to ensure total quality management of all activities. When something is going wrong, it detects automatically and tells you that this one, the quality may suffer. Then global logistics. For global logistics, we are looking at logistics that connect the entire world from the various continents and various countries to various destinations around the world. And currently, there are about 4.9 trillion in it for logistic companies. Yeah? That's a lot, right? And the value of global traded goods, okay, is about 28.5 trillion, according to UN WTO agencies. And global logistics industry facilitate the flow of goods around the world. And the major markets you can talk about now, for us in Ghana, for example, in African countries, we can look at the African Continental Free Trade Agreement or Free Trade Area. And there's also trade between African countries, then the EU, the US, China. So these are big markets you can always consider for your global logistics management. Then outsourcing the logistics function. Sometimes you may want to outsource certain component of your logistics function, whether the inbound or the outbound logistics. You don't want to do everything because that will not make you efficient. So some functions that can be outsourced include purchasing negotiations. Maybe you don't have the expertise to negotiate for you in the market, then you can outsource that one from other companies or other experts. Production, sometimes you don't have to produce. You can design and ask someone to produce, and then you can sell. Then packaging, labeling, or packing. All these things can be done by other companies on your behalf. If you don't have resources to invest into packaging plants, you can produce another company package for you and label for you, and then you can sell. You have storage and warehousing. Sometimes you don't have the resources to put up your warehouse, or you think that warehousing may be a bit problematic, you can decide to work with the storage. Then we also have shipping. All right. Shipping normally is outsourced because most companies cannot afford to own ship and maintain them. So yeah, and that is anything that has to do with transportation, movement of goods from one point to another is classified as shipping, whether road, air, rail, or marine transport. Then tracking and monitoring also is outsourced these days, where you want companies who are experts in tracking and monitoring to be tracking your goods for you that are in transit. And other functions, of course, can always be outsourced. What are some of the advantages and disadvantages of outsourcing logistics function? There are quite a number of advantages. It helps to optimize your costs. You don't have to. That means you don't have to invest in everything. Sometimes other people will do it, and then you just outsource it. Reduce the capital costs for warehouses. Yeah, you don't need to invest in a lot in warehouses. Reducing personnel costs. You don't have to employ too many people for all your functions when you can outsource some of them. They're reducing IT costs. You don't have to invest in IT infrastructure for all aspects of your business. risk diversification, of course. When others are doing it and you are outsourcing it, then they take the risk component. Then we also have, it helps improve the quality and speed of delivery, because people are doing what they are efficient in. You just help ask them to do it for you and pay them. It makes it more efficient. Sorry. Then the disadvantages have reliance on fulfillment operator. If one of your operators or people you outsource from, okay, disappoint you, then you are in trouble. Can imagine. Then we have information risk. Sometimes information is not flowing properly, and then that can also be a problem. Then availability of additions in the supply chain, which impairs the processing of claims. So certain things that you need in the supply chain may not be there, and then that helps to create some problems for you as a business. So you may want to do these things yourself instead of outsourcing them. Then finally, today in this lecture, looking at career opportunities that we have in supply chain management. Sorry, logistics and transport management. Can talk about manufacturing firms, yes, of course, and production or manufacturing is one area you can look at. In logistics, third-party logistics firms, those who provide warehousing, dedicated carriers, forwarders, freight forwarders, for example, transportation firms, freights and passenger systems, education organization, universities that are into transport and logistics, then government agencies, federal, in our system in Ghana, we have the customs division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, for example, and we have Ghana Port and Harbors Authority and other agencies that work at the port. The transport and logistics system. They have the service institutions like the bank hospitals that also provide services. Then the consulting firm, you can be a consultant yourself, and you can try to see how you can provide support to supply chain systems or the logistics and transport system. Then finally, we can also look at merchandising firms like retailers and wholesalers. You can also look at business from that area. Okay. So, as an entrepreneur, you may also look at some opportunities for yourself in the supply chain system, like warehousing, logistics information system, outsourcing agency, transport business, stevedoring, insurance, consulting and training, packaging and labeling, endless opportunity. You can look at it. Get some business for yourself along the value chain. Cool. That is it for logistics and transport management. Thank you.